Good morning. It's a beautiful Thursday morning here in the capital city of Nigeria, Abuja. And it's the conversation on TOS TV Network, your digital first Pan-African news network. I am Adesu Welsi.
And I'm Musa Cecil. It's good to have you here this morning.
All right, as always, we're going to go on a break. And when we come back, we're going to be taking you through stories and happenings, from across Africa.
TOS TV Network mobile app is now available. You can now catch up on our breaking news, stream our programs live. Watch out for the latest update on sports and politics as they unfold. You can also get notifications for our upcoming programs and events. All these on our TOS TV Network mobile app, available on Apple Store and Google Play Store. TOS TV News from Africa by Africans.
Being a journalist means in-depth analysis that unravels hidden truths, that question the status quo and fact-checks government.
These criminal elements hiding under the cloak of surveillance contractors are the APC elements.
Do you have facts to prove that? Being a journalist means waking up every day with a burning desire for peace, equity, and justice for all citizens.
We're being told that the choice you have is to take the lesser of two evils.
It means patriotism via the prism of objectivity and accountability. It means giving my platform to the masses to discuss issues that matter to them.
Some of them, if they bring budget, and the budget they look. Some of them sleep. They're going to ask how much you are on. I have it.
Thereby shaping government policies and laws. My name is Osasu Igbenegya, and I am the People's Journalist.
Welcome back. It's still the conversation here on TOS TV Network, and it's time to take you through developments across Africa. And I'm going to be starting from Angola, where the country is seeking to increase the share of its population with access to electricity. France and the World Bank have underwritten 344 million euros to help connect the provinces of Benguela, Huambo, Huila, and Luanda to the national grid. The Southern African country is looking to create a 60% electricity access rate by 2025. The beneficiaries of the project include households, industries, businesses, and small to medium-sized enterprises in Angola, with the aim of increasing access to cheaper, more reliable, and sustainable electricity. Under the plan, the government will create 3 separate agencies responsible for generation, transmission, and distribution. The move is aimed at eliminating waste and to achieve efficiency.
Moving from Southern Africa to West Africa, Ghana received AstraZeneca vaccines under COVAX global scheme. Now, Ghana on Wednesday became the first country to receive vaccines from COVAX, a global scheme to procure and distribute COVID inoculations for free to less developed or poorer countries. Now, the COVAX, which was launched last April, said it planned to ship 2 billion doses by the end of the year, and a day to celebrate, but it's just the first step. The 600,000 doses delivered to Ghana are Oxford/AstraZeneca formula made under license by the world's largest vaccine manufacturer, the Serum Institute of India said.
All right, talking about COVID-19 and vaccines, we're going to go on a break. And in that time, as always, we're going to bring you COVID-19 updates from across Africa.
Welcome back. It's still the conversation on your digital first Pan-African news network, TOS Television. And it's now time for us to get into the national dailies this morning.
All right, I'm going to be starting with the Vanguard newspaper. The first headline there says, "Way out of Nigeria's security problems." IBB, Abdul Salami, Onoyeka, and others are they're giving ways. Recommendation on how to solve Nigeria's security issue. The first one: Nigeria can overcome its security threat if, that's coming from IBB. Negotiating with bandits not the best, that's Abdul Salami. Onayekan warns against dialoguing with criminals, says there must be evidence of repentance before criminals are granted amnesty. Northern elders blast Gumi over profiling of military, say military professional, non-partisan institution. Urge public to see military as symbol of national unity. And then the last rider: no apologies for defending headsmen. That's coming from the Bauchi state governor. And I think this just reiterates the conversation we had yesterday about the different measures, the different suggestions people taking to curb Nigeria's security issue. All right, moving on to the left-hand side of the Vanguard. Victims of NAF plane crash for burial at National Military Cemetery today. 18 killed in Kaduna as bandits attack soft targets. United Capital's profit up by 61% to 7.95 billion. That's on page 19 of the Vanguard. Senate confirms Bawa as EFCC chairman. That's on page 9 of the Vanguard newspaper. And on top of that, federal government considers new options to deliver prepaid meters. That's on the electricity issue in Nigeria. Bomo, death toll rises to 16. Over 60 injured as survivors recount ordeals. Federal government to begin trial of 5,000 Boko Haram suspects. Oshibanjo to lead discussion at Bank CEO Summit on economic growth tomorrow. And then from the federal government, exit from recession, result of our fiscal policies. That's how the headlines on the Vanguard newspaper this morning.
All right, we'll move over to the Nation newspaper. Now, on the Nation newspaper, you have this gaping headline that says, more killings by bandits, Boko Haram in 2 states. More killings by bandits, Boko Haram in 2 states. And on top of that headline, you have Third Milan Bridge shot again. Lagos Blue-Red Rail ready in December. This story coming from Zainab Ahmed, the Minister of Finance. She says we slashed duty on tractors versus to curb inflation. And on top of the Nation logo, you have EFCC to probe unexplained assets, says Bawa. EFCC to probe unexplained assets, says Bawa, as Senate clears nominee. And the next story says, Minister, we don't know when vaccine will arrive. Ghana gets 60,000 doses already. Oh, sorry, 600 million doses already. Now the next story says container load of tramadol intercepted at Apapa port. Wow. I thought this tramadol issue was already trashed. Was already a forgotten story.
Yeah, exactly.
But then you see that on the Nation newspaper says container load of tramadol intercepted at Apapa Airport. You can find that on page 2 of the Nation. Under that story, you have gunmen kill 5 policemen in Anambra Delta attacks. Finally, under the Nation newspaper, you find the story, prove I'm a terrorist, Bauchi governor tackles autumn. Ekiti East by election holds March 2nd. That brawl between the Bauchi governor and autumn is becoming something else, But they say when the elephants fight,
it's the ground
the grass that suffers. But by and large, I think they're leaders and they should be able to show some sort of decorum, some sort of leadership, public display of leadership,
All right, that's the much we can take on the newspaper headlines this morning. We're going to go on a break, and when we come back, we'll be taking you through what's trending on social media. Welcome back. It's what's trending on social media time on The Conversation. Now, if you followed us through the show, I think during the development across Africa and on one of the front pages of the newspaper, you'd have heard that Ghana has received the first shipment of its COVID-19 vaccine, 600,000. 600,000 of the vaccine. And that kind of, trended on social media because they're the first country in Africa, is it Africa or West Africa, to receive, the COVID-19 vaccine. And so this tweet is from ABC News. It says, around 600,000 doses of the COVID-19 vaccine arrived in Accra, Ghana, which became the first country to receive the vaccine as part of the UN's Equitable Vaccine Initiative, that's COVAX. And this is coming from the new WTO leader, Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, that we're still celebrating anyways. Very happy to see the first delivery of COVAX-supported vaccine to Ghana. Excited to see more countries following. Nigeria's supply should be on its way soon. No trade restrictions or bureaucracy should get in the way. WTO must be part of the solution. Getting straight into work is that no trade restriction is going to come in very soon, and as promised. Then this one is from Ebuka Obiuchinde. Ghana is among the first countries to receive COVAX vaccine based on various factors, including, in capital letter, a strong rollout plan and all regulatory steps in place. I'm beginning to think that's some sort of shade to, other African countries.
Particularly the giant of Africa.
Yes, and that's the social media trend this morning. That's what's trending on social media. Don't worry, if you're in other parts of Africa, I'm sure your vaccines are on its way to you and it'll get to you just in time. Okay, we're going to go on a break, and when we get back, it's a bit time for the big story.
North to South Africa. East to West Africa. TOS TV Network is your digital-first Pan-African news network, bringing you news from across the continent. Visit our website www.tostvnetwork.com and follow us on social media at TOS TV Network on Instagram, Facebook and Twitter. Watch us on television, channel 138 on TSTV Africa. North to South Africa.
Big story montage.
The big story montage. He'll do the big
East
story
to West
intro,
Africa.
You wrap up. Yeah.
Welcome back. It's still the conversation on your digital first Pan-African news network, TOS Television. And this morning it's time for us to go to the big story. And we're looking at the looming fuel price and the implications for the petroleum industry and, of course, for citizens of Nigeria. Now, Nigeria is the sixth largest exporter of petroleum in the world. Recently, Nigerians who were already agonizing in the atmosphere of unabating security were greeted with yet another bad news, an imminent fuel price increase. What could be more disturbing than the call for them to bear the pains of the increase, as if they ever had any respite from all the years of persistent price increase in petroleum products. Now, the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, through its spokesperson Kenny Obateru, said there will be no fuel price increase. As good as that news may be, it tells about the lack of communication between the NNPC and, of course, the Ministry of Petroleum Resources, and an embarrassing lack of communication between the GMD and the minister. Joining us this morning to give us clarity into what that portends for Nigeria is Mr. Michael Fanero, an oil and gas policy and management consultant. Good morning, Mr. Michael. Let's go straight into the conversation this morning, sir. Nigerians have been greeted with the news of a looming fuel price increase. As an expert in that domain, sir, what can you tell us about that development?
All right. So there are factors that drive the price of PMS, which is most commonly used fuel in Nigeria, especially for transportation. So one of it is the price of crude. And another thing is the exchange rate. Then I think those are the major determinants of the price of PMS. So in recent time, after the upon the introduction of the COVID vaccine, we've seen economy opening up, and we've seen increased demand for crude oil, and this has led to the increase in price of crude oil. The other part is that the cuts in production quota by OPEC, again, which has increased the price of crude. Normally, as an crude oil export-dependent country, Nigeria should be happy with this development. However, this brings a mixed feeling for Nigeria, because though we get more money into our excess crude account, we get more revenue from this. But the other side of the story is that this leads to increase in price of fuel for the consumers, which again we may not be welcomed by the general public. And this is a self-inflicted problem because our downstream sector has not been developed. The refineries are not working. We are not refining the crude oil. So 95% of the PMS that we consume in Nigeria are imported. So any move, any increase in international prices will affect us significantly. And the other one is the currency exchange, the dollar exchange. You see that in recent time the value of naira has been diminishing one way or the other. I think the dollar now is close to 470 or 480 naira. So with that, definitely the price is going to increase at the pump.
Okay, so the spokesperson for NNPC, Kenny Obatera, said that there will be no increase in fuel price hike. But the Ministry of Petroleum had come out earlier to tell Nigerians to gear up for an increase in fuel price. What does this say for communication between, or disparity between these two parties, the Ministry of Petroleum and then the NNPC?
Well, one of the issues in the industry currently is that the NNPC is the sole importer of PMS, which should not be so. With NNPC being the sole importer, that means there cannot be competitiveness. For a downstream sector to actually for us to have a downstream sector, we must have a competitive landscape. But it's not so due to many factors. One of the factors that the marketers have induced on this is the exchange, the access to forex. They believe that NNPC is enjoying an advantage in the access to foreign exchange, so they cannot compete with NNPC. So having an NNPC as sole importer does not work for us. That's on the one side. Then on the other side, if the price of crude goes up and the NNPC or government says that price will not go up at the pump, that means we are back to the era of subsidy. Because if NNPC is going to be taking margin cut, then that means there is going to be under recovery. Another recovery is another means of subsidy. And I don't think that this economy that we have now, that is just coming out of recession, can withstand another subsidy payment. Imagine we paid close to 10.5 trillion naira to subsidy in the last few years. So I'm not sure this economy can actually absorb another subsidy payment.
Okay. All right, Mr. Michael. The Nigerian petroleum industry is a very important one for the Nigerian economy. As an expert in that area, what do you think we can do? What are the strategies that can be implemented for us to move from where we are right now?
All right. Well, at this time, both arms of government, the executive and the legislature, are actually working on the petroleum industry bill, which is what everybody has been talking about. The petroleum industry bill is our omnibus bill, which is expected to repeal all the law controlling the Nigerian petroleum industry. As it is now, the current law is 1969 Petroleum Act. So that is going to be repealed, and about 15 other laws, about 16 that are guiding the industry will be repealed and be consolidated into this petroleum industry bill. This experts have said, and we've looked at it, that is a step in the right direction, and we believe this is going to move the industry forward definitely. But on the downstream sector, one of the good things that I think the PIB, one of the aim of the PIB is actually to engender value addition to our resources. So instead of just getting these natural resources and shipping it to the ship, then we can add value. And until we begin to add value to these resources, we are not going to get the maximum of the value. For example, you go and sell your crude for $67 it is currently. However, the value that you can get in a barrel of crude, if you go across the value chain, you can get up to maybe, let's say, $400. That means you've lost the substantial amount. It's just like somebody who grows cassava and sell it raw after harvesting. Meanwhile, there's still a lot of value addition making to gari, making to starch, and things that you can get more. So until we begin to do value addition for the downstream sector, we need to develop our refinery. There's huge market for refined products in West Africa, in Africa, and Nigeria can actually be the hub of refining activity. We have the crude, we have the competitive advantage, we have the population, we have the people who can work, we have the youth population who can actually run these refineries. So we need to invest in this downstream sector, in the refining sector. For example, if our refineries are working and we are not depending on international price, this will be insulated at least to some extent from this rise in international crude prices. So, and again, it creates more jobs, and even the price of crude is price of PMS increase. It's going to even have, because more people are going to get the money is going to be transferred to the people here, and it's going to contribute more to GDP. As you see now, even though oil and gas contribute about 80% of our revenue, it only contributes so low in terms of GDP because there is no value addition. So until we begin to do value addition, we can only come in within the midstream and the downstream. That is when oil and gas can actually contribute significantly to our to GDP in Nigeria. So one of the things that the PIB must ensure is to actually develop the midstream sector where we can have gas-based industrialization, and again the downstream sector where we begin to add value, where we begin to process our crude locally, where we have the petrochemical industry in Nigeria. So by that, the revenue, is going to create a lot of impact on economy in terms of individual income, in terms of the number of the unemployment rate in Nigeria is high. So yeah, it's going to employ quite a lot of people, a lot of youth population. So you can see that the impact of it is significant and it's long. So the key thing is that we must have value addition. And again, the PIB that is in the National Assembly, we must make sure that we don't miss this time around. This has been around for like 20 years. This has not been passed. Sometimes the last time it was passed, it was not assented to. But this time, we must not miss this opportunity, because if we miss this opportunity, we miss it forever. Because all the fundamentals, the support is not in our favor. Even crude oil, the experts have said that in the next 25 to 30 years, it's going to be the value of crude oil is going to actually go down, because you can see that the whole world is transition from fossil fuel. So whatever we need to do with our crude oil, we have to do it in the next 25 years. You do the next 25 years, and you need to know that investment in oil and gas is not something that you do today and just comes tomorrow. So if it starts today, we are not going to actually feel the impact in terms of investment tomorrow. The impact is going to take years, because when oil and gas companies, they will now need to assess their portfolio, assess the competitiveness, and take a final investment decision. And in terms of investment, before they build, before they explore, before they build whatever they need to build, it's going to take like 4 or 5 years, or even 10 years to before we start repaying it. So if you don't do this now, that means we are just thinking that we will not be able to enjoy it. We in Nigeria, our proven reserve currently is 36 billion barrel of oil. And our production as it is now is around 1.8 million barrel per day. Let's even say we increase it to 2.5 after the PID. In the next 25-30 years, we will only be able to scratch half of the 36 billion barrel of oil that we have, which means even at the close of 25-30 years, we are still going to have some of our natural resources, the petroleum resources within the ground that's going to be as useless as coal is today, that we cannot even use the coal that we have in our other resources. So something needs to be done. We need to reform the industry.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Michael. Thank you so much for that very insightful thought of yours. We're going to have to let you go at this time. Thank you so much for joining the show.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, that was Mr. Michael Fanira, an oil and gas management consultant, and he was speaking to us. So he spoke to us about, the supposed fuel price hike in Nigeria and how much, it's going to affect, or how much effect it's going to have on the Nigerian economy. And that's so much we can take on the conversation this morning. Thank you so much for joining the show. And as always, do not forget to follow us across all social media platforms, TOS TV Network on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And also check out our website at www.tostvnetwork.com. I'm Adesu. I'll see you.
And I'm Osaze Isesele.